Hello everyone, I welcome you all.
अब 3/20 आएगा वैसे तो. अब जब क्या होता है 20 इसमें डिवाइड नहीं हो सकता.
Okay, sir. So, hi everyone. I'm Mansi. I'm a digital marketing intern from Mentors Guru, and I'm here as a moderator for you all in this talk show. And I really want to welcome Seema Sahay ma'am for the talk show. So, Mentors Guru is a platform initiated by Rajneet sir, and here we get different mentors available for the people who want to learn and who want to get knowledge. We basically are from Gurugram, but we operate internationally and nationally too. We get e-workshops for you all and talk shows also. And more about Seema Saha ma'am. Seema Saha ma'am is our today's guest for the talk show, and she's a career security coach. Also, she's an author, a communication consultant who has 23 years of experience in education and academics. She's certified TTT and also a soft skill trainer. Sorry, she's a former editor of the global magazine called Indian Daily Men, and she has also influenced people to 20,000 plus people globally. I would really like to welcome you, ma'am, for the talk show, and it's an honor to have you here.
Thank you, Mansi. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. And it's a pleasure for me also to be here. And first of all, let me congratulate Mentors Guru for doing such a fantastic work and, providing this platform to me. And, it's my pleasure totally. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks a lot. So can we begin with the talk show?
Definitely, yes.
Thanks. Okay, so ma'am, as you know that a lot of your viewers would know more about you. So can you tell us about your background and also the journey that you have done till now?
Okay, if I talk about my background and my journey, I think a good place to begin would be my childhood, because childhood days are the best place to begin with, isn't it? So I had a very happy and content childhood, and I grew up in Patna, and I went to a fantastic school called Notre Dame Academy. Okay, and it was a very, it was very different from the other kind of schools. It was a missionary school, but it had a very liberal approach. Yeah, it had a very liberal approach, and what happened was that over there when I joined, we had American sisters, American nuns, and so they were really into a lot of activities. They encouraged a lot of extracurricular activities, as they're called now. And so we used to have a lot of fun in school with one act play festivals and competitions, debates, and this and that. And I remember we used to have music classes. So we used to have music classes twice a week, once for Hindi and one day for English. So Western music classes, and Sister Joan used to teach us music. So all the latest songs of that time, all the pop numbers, in fact, I learned from her. She used to play on her piano, and we used to sing along. So that was good fun, and I really enjoyed my school days. But then there was another side to it also, and now I would like to recount an incident, and my mother often used to recount this incident to me. So I was about 3 or 4 years old at that time, and we were at home, all four of us, my brother, me, and my parents. And then my mother said that, okay, this evening there are going to be visitors, visitors at our place. So you people, both of you, my brother and me, just come out and greet them, meet them, and then so that you get to know them. So they came, the visitors came in the evening, and my brother, he happily went and met them. And then my mother called me, and I was nowhere to be found. So she searched all over the place. She looked inside the house, everywhere. She even went outside the house because she was getting anxious, and I was nowhere to be found. So Suddenly, she peeped under the bed, and there I was. I was there hiding under the bed, almost half asleep. So I don't know how long I had been hiding up over there. And why I was hiding was I did not want to go and meet strangers. I was so shy as a child that I avoided all these contacts with strangers. So, I was very fearful, in fact. So this incident I wanted to just tell you because, as a child, I was very shy, and then my journey later on. So another incident I would like to recount. I think I was in class 1 at that time, and we used to have these one-act plays in the school, and class 1 was doing Cinderella, and my class teacher, the sister, she wanted me to play Cinderella. And I was, instead of feeling happy about it, I was so dejected, because I would now have to act and perform, in a play. Anyway, I was chosen to play the central character, Cinderella, and I was very happy. Why? Because I had only one dialogue throughout the play, just one dialogue, and I did not have to do anything much. I did not have to say anything much, and I was very thrilled to be a part of it. So all these incidents, just go to say that I was very shy, very reticent child, and it gradually it took a few years for me to open up, and still I opened up, but I was very far away from any kind of public speaking, so to say. And now my job is just that. So another thing my mother made me learn was dance, so I learned Indian classical dance for about 10 years. From class 1 to class 10, I learned Indian classical dance, Bharatnatyam. So that was another, that added another dimension to my personality, because any performing art is a very good form of expression, isn't it? So you can express your thoughts, your ideas through your dance movements. And that got rid of my stage fright. I was performing all over the place, in events where my Guruji used to take me. And I was enjoying that. But that also had another side to the story, because my Guruji, he used to come at around 5:30 in the evening to teach me dance, and he used to come just twice a week. And I used to hate it, because at that time all the kids would be downstairs, playing in the park, and here I was practicing my dance. So anyway, that I grew out of that, and I realized that dance is the best form of expression. I enjoyed it, and it inculcates a sense of discipline in you, and that discipline stays with you throughout life. So that was one thing which was very good. My mother made me do that. And gradually, of course, over the years, I reached 11th and 12th, and my personality opened up a bit more. I remember in 12th, we had a farewell, class 12, and there was this thing of Miss NDA, Notre Dame Academy. So Miss NDA contest was there, and I became the second runner-up. So very little thing, nothing great, but these little things sort of boost up your confidence. And then after my 12th, I came to Delhi, and I studied in LSR, Lady Shri Ram College. I did my English honors. And that again, of course, that was a totally new world for me. It opened up my personality like anything. Because, once you're staying on your own, I was in the hostel, and once you're staying on your own, you have to do so many things. You have to manage all your affairs independently. So once you are independent, you can't afford to be shy, and you can't afford to hold back. So you have to do everything yourself. So all the things that I now teach as a communications coach or a career security coach, things like time management, things like resource management, adaptability, and people's skills, and also financial management, because we had to exist on a budget. So all those things, I think unconsciously I learned during that time when I was in college. And that is why I advocate, to all the parents, that once in the lifetime, every child should be sent to the hostel if possible, so that they gain confidence in themselves, they become independent, and they're not always, seeking the support of other people and their parents. So that was there. And of course, then I went on to do my MA in English from Delhi University. Later on, I did my MPhil. And that has been my background and my journey so far. Yeah. I mean, before my career started. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Your journey sounds so amazing. And as your profile depicts that you have a great experience in learning and development, and also you went on to become an editor,
Yeah.
a coach, and a trainer, and also an author too. So, how did you manage all of these things together?
No, I did not manage all of these things together, but it was a very organic thing. One role led to another. So as I said, my career was never planned very, very carefully. It was never planned, and this is what I tell my clients and my students, that your career needs to be planned. You can't just leave it on chance. So what happened was, these were not deliberate transitions that I had, but of course, yes, I began as a lecturer in English at Bhavan's College, Bhavan's Somani College in Mumbai. So I could not grow roots over over there, because we were having frequent transfers. So my husband was in a transferable job, so we were having frequent transfers. So I started teaching English communications, and once I settled down, I used to be transferred to some other place. So from Mumbai, we went to Banaras, and there again I taught English for a number of years, and then I went to Patna. Now here there was a switch, because I would have joined as English faculty in one of the colleges there, but there is a college called Patna Women's College, and the principal of that college, Sister Doris, she called me and she said, no, you are to become the head of the department of mass comm and journalism. So it was a newly opened department, I think just 1 year old, and she said, why don't you head that? So that was a challenge, because I did not know anything, I mean, apart from the general knowledge of mass communication and journalism. So anyway, I took up that challenge, and I'm glad that I did that. It gave me a lot of learning experience. And after that, I again went back to BHU. Here again, I wanted to join as an English faculty, but the head of the department of journalism and mass communication over there, he called me and he said, why don't you join us as faculty? So again, I was there, and I was teaching MA level students over there, so master's level students over there. So that was again very good. And then after that, I went to Delhi. I mean, I came to Delhi, and here, since I had so much of experience of teaching of the academics of academia, I wanted some industry exposure as well. So here I joined as editor of a magazine called Indian Dairyman. It is an international magazine. Here I was there for 7 long years. And after that, I had some online assignment. I joined as managing editor of ubercorp.com. It is an online platform, academic platform. Simultaneously, I did my certification in TTT and soft skills. So because, at the back of the mind, I wanted to join, I had this thing that I want to join coaching now, coaching and training industry. So I was preparing myself for that. So then I became a coach and a trainer, and then I joined a community where lots of speakers and trainers and coaches are there. And there I met my coach, my guru, and he motivated me to write a book. And finally, I became an author. So today I am a proud author of this book, Secure, Scale, Skyrocket. So this is how all the transitions have taken place.
That is so amazing, ma'am. So I wanted to know that you are a career security and an enhancement coach.
Yes.
So was coaching something you always wanted to do, ma'am?
Yeah, always, in the sense that I told you I was such a shy child, such a reticent child, in the beginning. But over the years, of course, your personality flowers. You open up, you grow up, and you start enjoying things. So when I completed my education, my MPhil, obviously I joined the academia, and teaching was my profession. So I discovered that I quite enjoy it. I like teaching, and so that was about teaching. But even in my personal life, even in my social life, I used to get a lot of opportunities to do MCing, master of ceremonies, to host certain events, and also to these small social events that take place. So I was comfortable with English and Hindi, and I used to sprinkle my speeches with a lot of Urdu shairis also. So I completely and thoroughly enjoyed doing this thing. So then over the years, I realized that yes, I am a teacher, I am an educator, but with teaching and education, you can, at the most, you can impact your own students. So that is a limited number. Maybe in a year you would be able to impact 300 to 400 students, not more than that. But when you have a wider audience, when you become a coach or a trainer, obviously and ultimately you will have a wide audience, because your reach will be so widespread. So then if you have a message, then you can spread it far and wide. So that is what, that thought and that idea led me to become a coach. And, the ability to provide value to so many people, that in itself is very, very gratifying. So that is why I forayed into the coaching industry.
Nice, ma'am. And like you said that you have a lot of audience and you have teaches a lot of people. So
Yeah.
how did you help the people in your role as a coach and as a communication expert? How did you help them?
As a career security coach and communication expert. Yes, since I have been into teaching, I have been in touch with these people in the age group of let's say 19, 20 to 23, or even 24, undergraduate students and master's level students, and final year students who are about to look for a job, who are looking actively for a job also, or people who have just joined the workforce. So all these kind of people I was in touch with. And as you say, and as you must have heard, India is a young country. We often say that, don't we? India is a young country. So what does that mean? It means that 65% of the population of our population is below the age of 35 years. So isn't that a very great thing? Just imagine if we could harness that kind of energy, then our nation would just simply prosper. So that is there. That is a very positive thing. But unfortunately, a large majority of this educated youth, so-called educated youth, they are looking for jobs, but they are not able to find the right kind of jobs, So they are not getting the kind of jobs that they want, the kind of jobs that they are qualified for. And the result is there is so much unemployability. So why is that so? One of the reasons could be that there is a disconnect between what they are taught in the educational institutes and what the industry is actually looking for. So there has to be some kind of a disconnect, and that is why they are not finding suitable jobs and they are not being taken in as in suitable roles. So because now these organizations, be they private organizations or public or even government organizations, they want something more than just domain skills. So you might be very good at your technical skills, but if you don't have those functional skills or the so-called life skills, then somewhere or the other you are lagging behind. So this is what I feel, and this is the lacuna that I like to bridge. I want to bridge through my work. So for example, if there is an engineer or a CA or an HR person or anyone, so he or she is very good at a job, and he or she might have been a topper also in whatever college they might have studied. But when they join the workforce, you will find that sometimes they don't get along with their colleagues. They don't get along with their colleagues. Why? Because they are lacking in people skills. they are lacking in interpersonal skills. Yeah. So then what happens, or maybe they are not able to function as a team, so they are not able to become a team player. So all these things reflect badly on the organization, because obviously if there is friction inside, then the organization will suffer, their productivity will suffer. So how to handle this and how to correct this? By learning certain skills, but very often these are called life skills or behavioral skills, or often they are dismissed as soft skills. But these skills are very important, and I feel that the number one skill that everyone should master is communications, because it includes the ability to collaborate, the ability to empathize, the ability to be adaptable, to be emotionally sound, that EQ, or the emotionally intelligent person that we say. So all these things, and leadership, all these qualities are important if you want to make a success of your career. So this is where I come in, and as a career security coach and communications expert, I guide my clients and my students to learn these skills. So I enable all these young job aspirants and these young professionals to first secure their dream job, then to scale it, and finally to skyrocket it. And how would they do that? By learning these skills, and then they will become very, very effective at their workplace. And this is all that my book also says. It is called Secure, Scale, Skyrocket for this very reason, because first you need to secure your dream job, then you need to scale and enhance it, and finally reach the top level. So this is my role.
Okay, so ma'am, like a lot of people say and even experience a lot of ups and downs and challenges in their life and career.
Yeah.
So how did you manage those roadblocks? Like what it is that drives you to manage it?
Yeah, so of course, challenges are a part of everyone's life. You can't escape challenges. Whatever field you are in, there will be challenges always. But the way you look at those challenges, that is what is important. What is your attitude towards looking at a problem? What is your mindset? If you have a mindset, a positive mindset, you will easily face challenge. Not easily, but you will be able to overcome those challenges. So the first and foremost thing is to have a positive mindset towards any problem in your life. Right? And how does one do that? I mean, for me, speaking for myself, you should always have a goal. So I have always had a goal or a mission at every point of my career, at every stage. So right now, of course, my mission is to impact 1 million people by the end of 2025. So that is a big mission. And that is there in my head, it is there in sight, and I'm always working towards that mission. So if you have a goal, then you will not feel dejected. You will not feel like that, okay, challenges might come and go, but you will always get up, you will get up and you will start again proceeding towards your goal. So always have a mission in life, always have a purpose in life. And this is what is called Ikigai also. You must have heard of that book. So Ikigai also tells you to have a purpose in your life, to live a purposeful life. So that if you have, then of course you will have setbacks, but you will also have the ability to stand up and again get going. So that is one thing. And secondly, how I manage these challenges is I'm very happy at myself. I'm very happy with my own company. So I don't need all the time validation from other people or whatever it is. So I'm at peace with myself. And, at the end of the day could be full of problems and obstacles. But then at the end of the day, I can detach myself from all these things and, I can calm down my mind and, have a good night's sleep and have a good night's rest, and then wake up re-energized and refreshed and face the new day. So that is the kind of thing I like to do. I'm not always successful, but yes, this has been my effort to overcome these kind of challenges. And of course, I would like to share an incident here. Once, a few years back, I had an episode of vertigo. So vertigo means you start feeling dizzy and all that. So I had this vertigo, and I went to the doctor, and he said, no, you have to change your lifestyle. So you have been staying up late, you have been working a lot, just change your lifestyle and see the difference. And then he told me, you must be worrying a lot. I said, yeah, sometimes I do. So he said, no, take it as a challenge. All these obstacles will always be there. All these impediments will always be there. But some people enjoy these, and some people get bogged down by these. So some people get so stressful by the smallest of obstacles, but some people enjoy it and they take it as a challenge, and they see, okay, how can I solve this? How can I, get over this challenge? So how do I find solutions for it? So this is the kind of mindset that you should have. And I followed his advice. I try to follow his advice, and that is how I, sort of succeed in overcoming challenges. This keeps me driven also.
That is so great, ma'am. Like you have motivated a lot of people. Who
Yeah.
has been your greatest motivator?
Um, there have been a lot of motivators, I would say, my teachers throughout college, throughout school also, and my mentors in various things, my gurus, and my present guru also. Very, very motivating people I have met. I've been lucky to have met such people who have brought out the potential in me. But in one word, if you ask me, my greatest motivator has been my mother. So my mother, she's no more, but she was one of the most practical and one of the most knowledgeable. She was very, very down to earth and matter of fact person. And she has really inspired me, and everything that I am today, I owe to her, I think. So anyway, she has been my greatest motivator. And despite being so knowledgeable and so learned, she was also a political science lecturer for some time. And so despite all that, she had a great sense of humor. And in fact, both my parents, my father also, he had a lovely sense of humor. And, they were both people's persons, lots of socializing and meeting people. So they used to love all that. And I think that has rubbed off on us also, my brother and me. And we love interacting with people. And another thing was that she really believed that girls should be financially independent. They should stand on their own feet. So no matter what kind of job you do, you should do something so that you have some financial income of your own. So that is another thing that she said. And that is what has inspired me a lot, motivated me a lot. And apart from that, apart from people, there are certain other things also that keep you motivated, isn't it? So the fact that there is so much more to learn in life, the fact that there is so much more to achieve, so much more to experience, that also keeps me motivated. So these things have been my greatest motivators, I think. For example, in my coaching and training business, you can speak well. I mean, you have a lot of knowledge and you can provide value to a lot of people. That is true. But you have to be technologically sound as well. And this was a challenge for me. But I gradually, I made it a point to learn new things, technologically. So every little thing, like doing something on Canva, or making a reel and uploading it on Instagram, or even having your own podcast and your YouTube channel. All these little things gave me a great sense of achievement, and these things keep me motivated.
Like you always say that constantly you should upgrade yourself. Can you elaborate on this? Like, how did you apply this in your life?
Yes, I did tell you. I mean, you should always grab the opportunity for self-growth. Why? Because opportunity never knocks twice. That is really true. Once you've missed the opportunity, it's gone. So at every point of time, I tried to do that. And as I said, I just recounted my whole journey. So I began as a lecturer, but then of English and communications. But then when I went to Patna, I was asked to head the mass comm department. So here I took up the challenge, but immediately and simultaneously I enrolled in a course in a PG diploma of journalism and mass communication. So it was a distance education course, but I immediately did that and I finished it in 1 year, and that came in very handy when I was in that department. I upskilled, I upgraded in that sense, and that is why I could go on to BHU and I could teach the MA level students. So apart from my English communications, I was also teaching development communication. So that is a part of journalism and mass comm. So they had the confidence in me that, okay, she can teach. And why? Because I was already experienced and already skilled in that particular subject. So I could do that. And then when I went to Delhi, I was an editor for 7 years. And simultaneously, I went on to the online platform. I explored that also. So constant upgradation, keeps taking place so that you don't miss out on any experience. And then, as I told you, I joined ICBI and I became a certified TTT and a soft skills trainer. And then I joined a community where I was taught a lot of secrets about the coaching and training industry and how to go about the entire thing. And also, of course, the greatest thing is how to become an author. And that is how, constant upskilling has been taking place in my life. And I don't like to miss opportunities to upskill. Yes.
Okay, ma'am. So I would really like to know your views on the never-ending debate on work-life experience.
Yeah, work-life balance and
Balance.
Yes, work-life balance, because yes, it is an unending debate, and I would say do what feels right for you. So every person would have a different take on it. And so many times, I've seen people, especially women, they are feeling very guilty about if they are working successfully, they feel guilty about neglecting their family or their children, and they're not very, very happy. So obviously, you can't devote exactly the same amount of time to your career and to your personal life. That is impossible. But what my suggestion is, don't feel guilty about it. If you have made up your mind to become a career person, then do that willingly and happily. So when they are climbing up the ladder of success, these women are not enjoying it 100%, because one part of their mind is always feeling guilty that they are neglecting certain areas of their life. So what I would suggest is to have a very supportive ecosystem. I was lucky, I have a very supportive family, but always it is not hunky-dory. Sometimes, my family would find me, in the middle of the night, I would get up, switch on the light, and I would write furiously in my diary, in my notebook. Why? Because I would get some idea at that time, and I don't want to lose that idea. And that is why I'm writing down that thought, for future use. Or sometimes what happens is in the wee hours of the morning, I would be shooting something, I would be shooting a reel so that I can upload it on Instagram. So these kind of things happen, because as a coach and a trainer, I don't have any fixed hours. So I can have a webinar at 10 at night or in the morning or in the afternoon. So the family generally they get used to it. And the only thing is you have to keep them in loop. So you should support your spouse and the spouse should support you. And then I think some kind of a balance can be maintained. So that should be done. And what else? The other side is that do not be very, very obsessive about about this, about your careers, because if you feel that you'll always keep on feeling guilty, then do not be so obsessive about it. Find a midway. And what is the use of earning so much money? What is the use of earning those millions if you can't enjoy it, if you don't have the time to enjoy it also? So try to think of all these things and then make a decision. This is what I felt.
Okay, so ma'am, what advice would you like to give to all the job seekers and young professionals to have a successful professional and a personal life? Like your advice to them?
My advice to to all the youngsters would be that always keep yourself updated. So keep yourself updated in the sense that whatever your field is, whatever your expertise is, always keep on upgrading yourself and have the relevant knowledge, the latest knowledge in your field, so that you can stand up. So that is one thing. And but do not be just an accumulator or a collector of knowledge. Just see how you can practically use it. So some people, they keep on reading a lot, but I don't think it makes any difference to them. So when you read certain books, for example, if you read a book like Rich Dad Poor Dad, you must have heard by Kiyosaki. Or if you read Lean In by Sheryl Sandberg, she is the CEO of Facebook. So these are very, very inspiring books. And then, read them and don't forget them. Take something out of them and try to apply it in your life. So that would be my suggestion. Not always easy to do, but yes, one must try to do that. And so when we are talking of books, always try to inculcate this reading habit. Always try to read, not just books. You can read on the, on the internet or anywhere that you want. You can read blogs or whatever it is, articles, magazines, anything that, that you enjoy reading. So when you are reading, this habit is so nice, that the more you read, the better you will be able to communicate. So all readers are, you will find, good communicators. At least in their written communication, they are excellent. Because when you read, you will understand the usage of the language. You will understand how particular words are used. The vocabulary increases. And then you don't have to keep on referring to the dictionary, because you will know, okay, this word is used in this particular manner. So that is why we say that, yes, reading is a very good habit and everyone should try to inculcate that habit. So that is my advice. And of course, communications. So try to improve your communications. Another way to do that is by listening. So what happens is, we often say that, okay, a good speaker is a good communicator. So that is not the truth. That is a big myth. Actually, a person who has the ability to listen, that person is the best communicator. Because if you don't listen, then how will you understand and how will you connect with the other person? How will you understand what he or she is trying to tell you? So always be a good listener and you will go very far in life if you do that. And the next thing would be constant skilling. So constant skilling means, don't be scared of spending money on your own self-growth, on your own personal development. If you spend money on that, that in fact will be an investment for the future. So right now you might think, oh my God, this is so expensive. This is such an expensive course. I don't think I need it. I can, get by without it. But that if you are certified, if you do a course that you like, if it is something related to your domain, to your niche, as we call it, then it will give you a lot of value in the future. So that, never be scared of self-investment. So that is another thing. And the last thing is, of course, don't be scared of making mistakes. So we happily stay in our comfort zone. We don't like to venture outside. This is a natural human tendency, isn't it? So we don't like to, we'll say that, oh my God, I don't want to do that thing, I don't want to go into that venture because I might fail. So that fear of failure is always stopping us. So as my coach always says, do not be scared of making mistakes. If you don't make mistakes, how will you learn? And if you don't learn, how will you grow? So you need to take these calculated risks, and that is how you will fail, but you will, every failure will be a new learning. So that is how it is. And don't be afraid to make a mess. Let that mess be a message to your world, to the world, to the other people. So you will learn from that mess, and the other people will also learn from your mess. So isn't that a beautiful message? Yeah. So this is what these are the things that I would tell youngsters to have a successful life and career.
Ma'am, it is indeed. So I wanted to know, like, what motivated you to write the book, Secure, Scale, and Skyrocket? And can you tell us more about the book?
Yeah, sure. This idea was there at the back of my mind. It was brewing for so many years that I have to write a book, I have to write a book, but I never got down to writing it. So once when I was in IDA, I mean, when I was editor of Indian Dairymen, we had a guest speaker. And he was a motivational speaker, and he stayed 3 days with us, and we interacted at a very deep level. And he knew each one of us. So when he was leaving on the last day, he told me, Seema, what are you doing? You are so talented. You have such a nice background. And on top of it, you are an editor. You are an English communications person. Why haven't you still written a book? So I said, yes, sir. I mean, that is always there at the back of my mind. I never get down to writing it. So he said, no, by next year, this time, I want to see your book. So I said, fine. And of course, he went away. I never got down to writing a book, even at that time. But I was more motivated, so to say. And then my president also, the president of that organization, he also said, Seema, you must go ahead and write a book. So then, after I left this job, and I became, I became a part of this community called Teachers and Leaders. So then we had all these people, we were all speakers, trainers, and coaches. And our guru, our coach, he motivated us and he encouraged us to write a book. And all of us, when there are so many people together, you do get inspired. And all of us ended up writing books of our own. So this is the journey. I mean, this is how my book writing has begun. And I'm very excited about it. And something about my book is, as you know, it is called Secure, Scale, Skyrocket. And here, the book is divided into 3 sections. So the first is secure, the second is scale, and the third is skyrocket. So the first one is, about how to secure your dream job. What are the skills required for that? The second one is how to scale and enhance it. What are the different kind of skills you would need to stand out from the other people, from your colleagues? And then at the third level, the topmost level, how will you skyrocket your career? So these are the 3 things. My book is divided into these sections, and I deal with a lot of skills, functional skills, like goal setting, like how to write a good resume, and interviewing skills, and leadership skills, etiquette. So there are in total 9 skills. So that is why it is also called, the subtitle is also 9 career skills for professional success, professional growth. So this is what, in brief, my book is about. And also it talks about, that how to carefully plan your career. So don't leave it on chance, but there has to be a strategy of how you can plan a successful career. So that has to be also kept in mind. And for that, the last section of the book, that is Skyrocket, I have interacted with a lot of these global leaders from different industries. So I have interacted with them, and their interviews I have included in the last section. And I hope that will be of use to all the youngsters. I hope they will be a source of inspiration for the youngsters. So this is a little bit about my book.
Okay, ma'am. So what was your experience while you were writing it, and how much time did it take to complete the book?
Yes, it was a very wonderful experience, I would say. And, there is this misconception, there is this widely held belief that book writing, writing a book is going to be such a time consuming process. It's going to be a very complicated process. That is why even I was not writing for so many years. But nothing can be further from the truth. It is not time consuming. It is not complicated. It is not tough. So you take that from me. And, once I made up my mind, okay, I must get down to writing now. It took me just about 60 days, only 2 months from day 0 to day 60. And I had the manuscript in my hand. So what is really required is just make up your mind and find a suitable time. Like I'm a morning person, so I am more creative in the morning. So I just had this 15-20 minutes every morning to myself, and I wrote down whatever I felt like, about the book. It was not very organized, but whatever I felt like, I wrote down. And then the editing part, of course, came later. So if you have that kind of discipline, then book writing is not difficult at all. So that needs to be done. And you also have to be clear about your niche. So if you are clear about what you are passionate about, what interests you, so that you can write about it for length, and you don't get bored about it. And then writing a book it's quite easy. It's quite easy, actually. Yes. So I would suggest everyone to go out and to write a book. Mansi, everyone has a book inside them. That is what I truly believe, because your experiences, your life events, your situations, they are all very different from the other person's. So you can just go ahead and express it in the form of a book, and people would love to read it. Yes.
Ma'am, even I believe that it is a good thing to write a book or even to write anything.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
So, okay. So now, any advice that you want to give to all the aspiring authors out there? Like, what is the mantra to become a
I just
successful
told
author?
you. Yes. I just told you. Okay. So the first thing which I did was always have this diary handy. Any pen or notebook and diary or whatever it is that you like to write on, have that handy, so that when any thought strikes you, or when you look at a movie and something you are impressed by, and you want to include something in your book, so quickly note it down. Or any quote, any quotation, something that is very inspiring, because I'm talking of non-fiction, I'm not talking of fiction writing. That is a different ball game altogether. So just note it down, keep it handy at all times, keep it at your bedside, keep it when you're going out, so that you can keep on jotting down certain things, whatever you want to include in your book. So that is one thing I would suggest. And the second, as I said, be clear about your area of interest. So like my area of interest is communications and career skills, and how to enable them, how to enable the job seekers to find their dream job. So all these things are my niche areas, and I would love to talk about it on length, and I would love to write about it also. So find a topic that interests you. So that is the second thing. And then, as I said, discipline yourself. Find a time where, if you're a night person, write at night when everyone is asleep. If you're a morning person, write in the morning. If you're not, just find some time in the afternoon. And all it requires is 15 minutes of your time, not more than that. And before long, your book is published, because, your job is to complete the manuscript. The rest of the job is the publisher. So you can sit back and relax. So that is the mantra of success, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So, ma'am, like you had a commendable journey and you had a lot of success and experience and even learning too. And you also believe in constant growth.
Yeah.
So
Constant.
what
Yes.
so
Yes.
what are your plans now? Like how would you be challenging yourself?
Yeah, so right now I'm enjoying myself, as a debutant author. I'm quite enjoying that experience, and it's a lovely feeling to become an author, finally. So that is there, and I would not be surprised if I go in for a second book, So maybe next year I would attempt a second book. So this is my first one, and I would go in for a second, maybe a third. So who knows? So those are plans for the future. But for the immediate future, I am working on my online course. So I'm creating my online course, and it is called Communicating Right. So this should be launched next month. By the end of next month, I plan to launch it. So this is my immediate task. And of course, now that things are slightly better. The pandemic, Gopal Bansal is asking me, Seema, can I write a book, my biopic? Is it my cup of tea? Definitely, Gopal, it is your cup of tea. It is everybody's cup of tea, whether you are, a teenager, whether you're 20 years old, whether you're 60 years old, your experiences, if you describe it in your own way, that is what people are interested in. You don't have to be, a very high and mighty person doing great things in the world. No, small achievements, small experiences, small life events, all these things, you can share with the others, with your readers in your book, and people are so happy to read it. So Gopal, yes, you can do that. And next year, we will be seeing your book, right? So, okay. And so now, as I was saying, things have started opening up, and we will be back to our offline session. So I'm looking forward to that also. Of course, the online things continue, but the offline sessions will be there, and I'm looking forward to that. So these are certain things. And of course, my online courses are going on. My communication classes are going on. I have another career enhancement skill 5-day class. All those things are, of course, going on. And this is how I plan to spend the next few days and the next few years. Yes.
Okay, so ma'am, like you were very busy as a professional thing. So can you tell us more about your experience as a mother? Like how did you handle it?
Okay. Yes, so I have 2 children, and I got married when I was in MA. I was doing my MA in English, and I got married. But of course, that did not deter me. I went on to do my MPhil, and then I completed, and I was supposed to join the academia, after completing my MPhil. But I did not do that because at that time I had, my son was 2 or 3 months old only, basically three months old. So then I decided to take a few years off, maybe 2-3 years off. I decided not to start working. And then I heard a lot of remarks, oh my God, she's so, she's so qualified and she's supposed to join the academia. She start her teaching profession, and she's just wasting her time and staying at home, and she's making such a big mistake. But for me, that was not a mistake because, I really believe that during the initial years of childhood, the child needs their mother. Mother, at least, not even if not a mother, at least one parent has to be there with the child, because that is very important. So whenever I was, thinking of working, I used to stop because, I said that this time will not come back, when my son is 2 years old, 3 years old, and then I am there with him, I am looking after him, and there are so many things, so many milestones he's achieving. So I want to be there. And then my career at that time took a back seat. So then again, after that, I had my daughter, and then again, I was teaching, and I took up that kind of a job in which I would just go for 2 or 3 hours and then I would come back. So I believe it is very important to stay with your children when they are very small, and sort of guide them and be with them. That is very important, and I did that. And now my daughter is doing law from this Jindal University in Sonipat, and my son is in Singapore and he's working there. So this has been, it has been a very gratifying experience to be a mother as well as a career person. And this is where I say you have to find the balance, you know, because each person will have a different priority. And that is how it has been.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing such an insightful experience. Do you want to question
Nice.
anything to the audience, or you want to tell them anything regarding it? Any message for them?
Oh, message for them. Thank you so much for being here, first of all, for taking the time out. I mean, I think it must have been 1 hour. So for taking the time out and being here, it's a Monday evening, it's a weekday. I mean, you could be doing so many, you could be so busy, you know, but then thank you so much for coming here and listening to me. And that is very, very encouraging for me also. And go ahead and read my book, everyone. So it will be soon available on Amazon and Flipkart, and just read that book, and I would love to hear your feedback about that.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was fun having this talk show with you, and it's an honor to have you here. Thank you so much, everyone, for the talk show, for attending and listening and getting so much to learn from this. Keep visiting the
Thank you,
upcoming talk
Mansi.
shows.
Yes, thank you,
so much,
Mansi.
ma'am.
Thank you, viewers. And it has been a real privilege. It has been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.